All right. What's up, everyone? It's Friday, and as you guys know, we do Fridays. We do banter. Obviously, on Fridays, that happens once in a while, but today we're actually going to be looking at, oh yes, happy Canada Day, and everyone, welcome. So, if you're here from around the world, it's great to have you guys. We will be doing live feeds either at 12 o'clock or at this time. The reason why today I didn't do it is I just was not available. So usually we'll be doing midnight Eastern Standard Time Monday and Friday, but if we don't do Friday during 12 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, we will do it at this time. So those are the times to look for. You can't hear me? Coming, one sec. I don't know why that's happening. Volume is low. Everyone's saying the volume is low. Okay, one sec, guys. I'm trying to figure out why my volume is low. Is it louder now? I don't know why. Usually it picks up on this pretty nicely. Not too sure why. But can you hear me now? We're good? Turn up your audio if you're having any issues with the sound. I'm not too sure why you're not being able to hear me, but some people must be. I'll just bring my microphone a little bit closer. And I'm trying to understand why this is happening. So just bear with me. But if it's quiet, I will be working on figuring out how to get that a little bit louder for you. Just patience with me working up on that. And we'll get there. So let me know if this is better. And if not, we'll work on it. Okay. Perfect. Let me put my shades on. Let's get to the game. And the game plan is right now to tell you guys what to focus on, where to look at, and really the key piece today is what's going to happen next. Because honestly, I get where a lot of people are at this point, where you're like, yo, man, this sucks, coach. When is this going to happen? So we got 108 people voted that they think it's going to 30K. I am with those 100 and out of that 108%, out of that 72%, I'm with you guys. And I'm going to show you why I'm with you and what we're looking at as we go into the weekend. And look, this is my prediction. Miners went offline. Hash rates are super low. The hash rates being low have a correlation to the price of Bitcoin because the security of the network correlates to price, right? People value the security that Bitcoin has. So we know this. Also, glasses, we will be doing a draw with my team over this weekend. So we're going to pick some lucky winners and we're going to need to get more of these beautiful glasses created. So we'll get that done. But yes, what I think really is coming up for us is a little bit more pain. And I know a lot of people don't want to hear that, but are we going to finally go to Bitcoin to 30K, or are we going to drop below 30K is what we're here for. Are we going to get below 30K? And see, this is what I want to try to help you guys understand and help you to look for. Because once you get there, you're Gucci. What's up, Spectre fam? Cool thoughts for the potential for a Soros short? Yes, definitely. Soros could definitely be doing that. But I'm going to show you some stuff that I think, because it's really interesting. My eyes are like glass staring at these charts. 55. Yes. Look, Glenn, man. Blue light glasses actually have helped me. I used to have headaches and shit, and it's basically helped me a lot. So 20K is not the number that we're looking for if we lose 30. We'll just quickly go over that. July 4th, happy July 4th. We're not there yet, but I don't celebrate Canada Day anymore because I'm not in Canada, but happy Canada Day as well. So we have comp short. Let me just go through some of this stuff here, and let's look at what we're looking at on the charts. So we still have our short setup, right? Where's our short setup to? Well, it's down to about 22,700. And the reason why, if we lost 30K, 26K is not really a level. It's because it only has like 5 or 6 tests ever. That's not really gonna be, it's not really gonna be the right play. So the right play is gonna come down to 22, but the real play is down here. Here's where we've seen support more than once. We've seen it turn in resistance, and so we know that that is pretty strong support. It probably will come down to the 17K reach. It doesn't go to this level just because it was 20K and it was an all-time high. That doesn't mean it just comes back to that level. That doesn't mean anything. Okay, that's first thing. Second thing, we have to look at the chart without a bias. So you guys all went to school, you all learned what biases were, and I feel like a lot of people in crypto forget what those mean. So a bias is your opinion about something. Remember that. Okay. Second thing, don't ever say things like this, John, that you can't go below 20K. Because people told me we can't go below 10. We can't go below 6. We can't go below 4. We did. So the market can be irrational way longer than you'll be solvent or liquid, and that will be a bad thing for you. So instead of just trying to tell us, boom, let me get you more into a real reality of what's actually the chart showing us. Because people are trying to create realities that do not exist right now. And I've seen this happen a lot this week, so this is why I'm talking about it. But here's what I want to show you here. The 21 EMA is now pointing down on the daily. Our Tenkan is pointing down on the daily. And remember, it's looking at an average of our last several days. And so was the Kijin. And it's flat again. It was flat up here. It was flat again. So it's coming and leveling down. Okay. I bet you we still have to wait for this to break. And the reason why the cloud is flattened out is because we've flattened out. The whole chart is kind of coming back to certain levels. We're doing that $30,000 to $40,000 range. And now we're doing another range between about 30 and 35 or 36. So now we're seeing a new range being developed here. But why am I more bearish? It's because we're losing that key level that we had here. So if we close today below this level, it's likely we retest and come all the way back down to 30 and very likely even lower. So what's going to start us here? The key piece is, what do they have here? Well, here's what we have. We have a clear level being broken. Now we have to wait 11 hours and 52 minutes for it to break because it could go down and come right back. Same as this candle whipped me out because I was a little bit too tight with my stop only being there and I got just whipped out. The same thing can happen here. So you can get whipped out and then it can go back up. But what we do see is there's a clear level of support, which is now potentially going to turn into a resistance, an SR level, we call it. So this is Bitcoin showing us some weakness. Now we go to the 4-hour chart to see our secondary. And what is our secondary chart showing us? Bearishness, right? We see that the Tenkin's coming down. It wants to come down. The Chiku is kind of getting more bearish now, and it was bullish, right? So this was a nice fake out. This was a nice fake out. We had that level of resistance in this one, and it kind of faked you out here. Made a little, maybe a mini head and shoulders here. You can see the left shoulder, head, right shoulder, and then boom, it came back down. We're holding this nice Kijinsen as support so far. But if we break below it, which we are right now, it's likely we come back down lower. So I'm still seeing 30K here. But the question is, and this is what we wanted to come back to, is are we going to break 30K? And the thing is, every time we get to that level, we get, some people say, and sometimes it gets weaker, sometimes it gets stronger. So it depends on your perspective of you as a trader. But for me personally, if we come back to this 30K level or 31K level, I'm not too concerned. I'm really not. I'm more concerned if we make another lower low. So if we break, it's very likely, okay, if we make a lower low below this low, if we make another low, that this will go retest and this trade is going to play out, and we very likely will trade that out to down to around 19 or even down to 17.8. But these are extremes. This is why I'm looking only at 22 if it breaks, because maybe you would get a bounce there, because I don't think the big players that came in late, like Michael Saylor, are really going to want to see that. But let me remind you something. Those guys are not planning to sell for a very long time, and Bitcoin's volatility in the short term will not affect them at all. They will not go and panic sell like you will. So this is the reality of the market. We are bearish. We have been bearish. I mentioned way over here after we dumped that we're very likely to range. And I'm still thinking we're ranging. We're ranging. We're ranging. We're still doing exactly what I thought before we would pop into the cloud. I've been saying this for over a month, that we would likely do something like this, and then we would pop into the cloud, which is why there's a horizontal line right here, because that's when I think around this, give or take plus or minus a deviation of maybe 3 days on either side, is probably going to happen at that point if we're going to get bullish. And this is a big if. This is a big, gigantic if. So I wanted you guys all to, I wanted to spend a nice, I think 10 minutes to start just on this because I want you to remind yourselves that just because we have a couple days of bullish movement does not mean you should be bullish. We are not bullish until we're above this cloud. That is a fact. So right now, you should be looking for bearish movement trades. You should be looking for shorts. And when we come to this level again, and we go back to our buy zone for our spot buys, because we bought it once, twice, 3 times, 4 times now. I didn't buy it the 5th time, bought 4 times. I will buy it another time if it comes into this zone again, because it works. I buy and I sell here and I sell here. I buy down here and I sell here and I sell here. I buy down here and I sell here. So I only sold once. Now I didn't buy again because it didn't get to my other buy zone. So I waited. So now it comes back. If it goes back down here, I'll buy again. And if it comes back, I'll sell again. Simple. Keep your life simple. You start going on low time frames, you make your life harder, you make more mistakes, and that's as simple as it is. Okay? What's up from New York? How's it going, everyone? Midnight GMT. At what time does the daily candle close? For me, it's 7 a.m. GMT plus 7. So basically UTC 0. When the universal time starts again, and 24 hours starts again at 0000, that is when the daily close happens. But technically, if you want to be real here, crypto never closes. It doesn't close. Because if it closed, we'd have gaps and stuff like we have on the CME, which you can clearly see these gaps. Why don't we have them on Bitcoin? Because Bitcoin is open. The market is open all the time. So we can't have a gap between price because there is no time where the price is actually stopped. There is no open or close. It's always open. All right, let's have a quick look at ETH before we jump into some other stuff, because I got some cool stuff to share with you and some opinions about where the market's going and some opinions about why we might stay bearish and why the fundamentals may not matter at all. And how actually the fundamentals when we're in a bearish movement matter at all. 0. They don't matter. So this is something we really need to be cognizant about. It's very important. I love that crypto is 24/7. So do I. It actually sometimes makes it easier. Smoke some weed while enjoying the show. Hell yeah, man. Do whatever you want to do, bro. I'm not a hater. You guys know I have a weed business. So for me, it's great. Comp short. Okay. People keep writing comp short. So let's have a look at that in a minute. But first, what are we seeing here? We see that we came back to this zone. We have this zone down here as well. So why do I draw these kinds of zones? They're liquidity pockets, meaning that the price drops into there and people buy it up. So I want to buy in these zones. So anything from about 1800 to 1700 or so, I am going to buy that liquidity up. Okay? That's the area you should be buying it. And this is spot. You shouldn't be using leverage if you don't know how to do it. These are the areas that we want to buy, the liquidity pockets, right? And where do we want to sell? We want to sell in areas that could have been liquidity pockets from the past, right? Which may be areas where people will sell. Or we want to buy right down here where we bought over here for that trade that we made on the 4 hours. So let's go down quickly and see that. So we had a really nice trade off of this level right here. If it comes back to this level, we may have a second trade off of that. So great opportunities present themselves, and it's in this range. So it could stay in that range. So keep your eyes on Ethereum for some opportunity potentially over the weekend, especially if it comes, like if we get a really big dump around, you know, a little bit lower, just around 1980, it might be a good opportunity for a bounce. But what you need to look for, again, one big reminder, volume needs to increase. If volume is declining like this and you go and jump in over here, you might be sad. So make sure that you have volume coming in, and you can even look down onto like the 1 hour chart and find out how volume has been doing. For some reason, TradingView does weird stuff sometimes, so give me a sec. So you can actually see on the 1 hour, sometimes you can see volume is starting to increase or decrease. Here we don't really get a good indication of that till here. And then we see a little bit of follow through there, and then it started to move. But that wasn't why I went into that trade, because I don't trade off 1 hour, because you'll make a lot of mistakes, and there's no point to do that. All right, let me get some questions. East lost the 38.2, guaranteed will retest the 618 or 786. Yeah, possibly. I'm not a big fib trader. I usually don't use too much fib because I don't really need to. Because if you draw levels properly, you'll learn that fib usually goes within those levels. You'll understand. I struggle with the volume indicator. Volume is just that people are buying or selling. So if there's a lot of people buying, the volume will increase. You'll see that volume is increasing. So if you see that We've had crap volume on the daily. It's hard to tell, right? But if we look on the 4-hour, we can see that there was a hell of a lot of selling going on around here, very strong selling, and then it kind of had no volume. And then all of a sudden, right around here, we start to see that it went from 0 volume nearly to some more. And this is something you're going to need to spend time and practice and learn how to do properly. But you see how like volume dissipated pretty much all of a sudden. Then you get this nice big candle, right? Then you wait for follow through. It doesn't happen. Then you get the follow through candle right here. And you know what? You're already looking at this and you're going, okay, where's volume? Well, volume came in. If it retests this level, I'm entering. What happened? I waited for volume to come in. It retested that level and I went in. And look, it hit. The volume didn't really give me a lot on this trade. It was more that it retests the level and I saw some coming in on the lower time frames. Seems like we're in accumulation phase. Absolutely. That's exactly what we're in. If you guys go back and you watch the videos that I did before I even made the call for shorting in May, that I was going to short 40K, you guys can see that I basically mapped this whole entire move out that likely we're going to come down again and up again and down again, up again, down again, up again. And then likely we'll do that a little bit longer. And if the market does have some juice left for the squeeze, it will happen around the end of July. Let's see. I could be wrong. You never know. Since this guy spamming dot, F him. I don't know. Oh, please share. You know what? I'm not even going to talk about dot because that just is annoying. So don't be that guy, okay? All right. Now, I want to talk about something other than the chart for a second. I know. Oh my God. Crazy, right? Coach, did you invest in Unbound Finance? I did not. Market needs retail. Why market makers would let the price go down? Because market makers do not buy the price up. They don't do that. Retail does it. Market makers put support. That's it. They'll put support on the chart, but if people start selling into their support, they will pull that support because they don't want to get wrecked for the project. So you have to understand how that works first before. All right, let's do this damn thing. First, I want to talk about this. So we have JP Morgan was the biggest proponent against Bitcoin, calling it every name in the book, mainly because they didn't have enough of it and probably wanted to get more. Start number 2. Now they're talking about Bitcoin in a very positive way, made JPM coin, and today talk about jumpstarting a $40 billion staking industry. Quite interesting how they hated all this stuff, but now they love it. Quite interesting enough, we have Baby Dodge yesterday go on a massive pump. And why did this happen? Well, thanks Elon Musk. You make a joke of this whole entire industry. 243,000 people have liked this, okay? 40,000 people have retweeted this. You want to know why the industry, want to know why all the good projects that you guys love so much and actually do shit are fucked? It's because of shit like this. And I'm not blaming Elon because it's not his fault. He's probably trolling every single one of us that actually buys this crap. And maybe it makes some people money. And maybe that's great for them. I just don't agree with it. I think it's not good. Okay? So this stuff, you guys can go into it. But the fact of the matter is, it's not worth your time or your energy. Now, another really big thing unraveling itself. Now, a lot of people have said, yo, coach, ever since CZ unfollowed you, you've been really harsh against Binance. I haven't. I've been posting and basically following this. I said Elon doesn't move the market. He doesn't. Dane, the fact of the matter is, he doesn't move the market. He causes pump and dumps. He causes idiots that are dumb enough to actually buy whatever he just tweets about. He wrecks all of those people. Do you think the average person that's in the crypto market that bought Baby Dodge yesterday made money? No. They got wrecked. Guaranteed. The average person, probably the 90% of people who bought Baby Dodge yesterday, bought someone else's bag that already had it, that bought it first, and they got wrecked. Because one thing you must understand about crypto, about trading, about any type of industry where we're transferring different types of assets, there is a zero-sum factor here. Someone will win, someone will lose. The reason why you shouldn't hate on anyone who flips from bull to bear, it's because we are here to help you. Because the fact of the matter is, In the short term, would you have rather had 50 to 60% more portfolio value in US dollars so you could buy Bitcoin now, or Ethereum now, or KSM now, or DOT now? Or would you have rather let me talk to you and tell you all the great bullishness about X, Y, and Z? You tell me. Because that's the truth. That's the big fact. And that's what's going on. But I want to go into what's been going on with Binance in more depth, because people are calling this FUD. And while, yes, the way I've seen some of the media outlets take this information and twist it, definitely can be looked at as FUD. But I'm going to give you some fact. Because everyone loves to talk about fact. But it's all FUD, right? Oh, it's FUD. Here's the fact. Binance is in it's having regulatory issues. And even though they're responding that, yes, they'll do everything the right way, and we're going to do it awesome, we're going to do X, Y, and Z, they've already done the wrong things. They have just recently fired a ton of their staff in the midst of a bull market, in the midst of an internal issue of apparently people, taking bribes or some shit. No one knows if it's true, but that's what I've been told. So I don't know. Let's keep it that way. But what's going on with Binance right now? What are they dealing with? What are the things that I tell you about FXF for the long term? What is it? Well, let's look at some of the problems that they've faced recently. Regulatory scrutiny. So the Thai SEC and the Cayman Islands regulators are taking action on Binance. Now, people said this is FUD. But you guys all have the ability to go online and find out anything that you need, right? Well, I went online to the Security and Exchange Commission of Thailand to find out, is this fact or is it FUD? Crazy stuff happens here where you find out it's actually fact. They are charging Binance. Very likely the outcome of this will be, Binance, you got to pay $20,000 fine or maybe a little bit more, and we'll look the other way. Very likely. But it happened. What else happened? This is from today. What else happened recently? Well, yesterday, in the midst of all these other regulatory bodies cracking down on Binance, of course, the MAS are going to review what's going on with Binance. Because with all this regulatory scrutiny from many different regulators across the world, you're definitely, where you're stationed, the people are going to start asking questions. And the MAS haven't given them a full license yet. They are now grandfathered in, giving all their documentation and doing what MAS asked for them. So Singapore following up does not mean FUD. It may mean nothing. But the fact of the matter is everyone is looking at Binance. And a lot of people told me, OGs, years ago, a year ago, told me that Binance will be the one that goes down first. And I said, what do you mean first? They said, we don't like Binance. We think Binance do some shady stuff. They have too much power. This is interesting stuff. And here is another interesting side. So you can see here as well. Binance, let me just move my head here for a second, my big melon. Binance affiliates face scrutiny in the US, UK, and Japan. This is all over the world. And that's something that you have to understand. You have to ask yourself questions why. Now, the next question that you should ask is this. So, where do you go next? So, is Binance really SAFU? I don't know if you guys noticed this, but during that second really big dump, their insurance fund ran out of funds. I don't know if you guys know that, but it did. So they've actually been working to refill their insurance fund, which basically lost all of its money. I might be wrong about that, but that's what the article said. So I'm reading it, and other people read it the same way. Okay, so the FCA has also done this inside of the UK. This was kind of more fun because of one factor. The fact is that all they were doing was basically saying the same thing that already happened. So, it'd be like saying, it's like Binance banned Ontario, right? As Canada was one of the places that they didn't let go on Binance anymore. But you can still trade on Binance till the end of the year, December 31st, 2021. Then you'll be cut off. But here's the interesting fact. When December 31st, 2021 happens, I guarantee that they'll say Ontario has been cut off of Binance and blah, blah. They'll make a FUD article about that. That will definitely be FUD. But boy said we had 100K soon. Look, you're listening to someone with zero knowledge about trading. If you're listening to BitBoy about trading, BitBoy's got amazing content, but I would not listen to people that are not professional traders for your trades. Honestly, I wouldn't listen to even me for my trades. Why? Because you should be listening to yourself. Because if you listen to yourself for trades, you will make way more money. Here's another thing. You find Tether more dangerous? Man, if they wanted to get rid of Tether, that would have happened already. Down to 400% now. I need to stake BSC Marsh. Which can you convert? I don't know what you mean. I don't know which one you're talking about. APY is on something anyways, but I'll come back to this. Let me just come back to this fact. So while the midst of all this stuff is happening with Binance going through all their scrutiny, guess what happens? Coinbase comes out today and expands international payments options for institutional clients. So what I'm starting to see is exchanges are starting to expand and doing more. So it's really interesting. You sold your house for Bitcoin. Now you're homeless. I mean, you have Bitcoin still, so you shouldn't be homeless. Your house is still worth, your Bitcoin can't be worth more than half of your house worth. So you should be all right. You know, it sucks, but hey, we've all been there. A little too much hopium from the banter crew, shelled in a lot, but it seems like they just want your money to be in the markets all times. I mean, honestly, guys, look, banter, they're trying to help you out. And, you know, it's hard. This market's hard to trade for anyone. I mean, even trading firms, like, they're having trouble in this market because it changed. The conditions changed. Algorithms needed to change. So this is not the same market. So we can't be harsh towards someone who is there to help you. That's just dick. That's being a dick, really. So let's be real. Let's be honest about that. So who else has benefits from this? Well, we have this super low cap in Phoenix Flow, right? A $50 million market cap with 100% diluted supply. Well, not diluted, but basically 100% of all the tokens that everyone already got out there, and it holding a nice 7x with 100% of tokens that are out in circulation right now. It's a project that is a long-term one. Same with this one, CCAI. Two long-term projects, but I believe deeply that Phoenix Flow and CCAI and some of the other new ones like Bullish and GlobeDX are going to be big players when it comes to this. So that's what I'm trying to say. Super lows on super broken promises doesn't seem bullish long term. You mean on Super Farm? I can have a quick look at Super Farm. Honestly, here's what happened with Super Farm though. Market was way overbought. This is the same thing that happened with Super Farm and Paid and all these. What happened was too much bullishness, too fast, too many people made too much money. And, you know, like, that's really what happened. People were paying like not even 1 cent for this. This is 39x what I paid for it. And look how freaking low it is now. I thought there was a really interesting article on Twitter today by some guy. And he was talking about VCs in crypto. You guys should take a look at that. I don't want to cause any trouble or drama, but you should have a look at that and see what they're saying in that article. Now back to charts, just for a second. Someone keeps talking about comp. So I'm going to give Greg his chance because he didn't say which pair. Comp short. Okay, let's have a quick look. Last time I've been looking at comp was before it broke out here. And you know what's crazy? This is something you guys will learn. I drew this level like probably over here. And the thing that's wicked about trading is levels come back. They come back to those levels again. So what did we see happen? We saw it went on a mega moon mission to almost $1,000 and it came right back to that level. And watch this. I bet you anything. This is a 78. Yeah, 78 retracement. That's pretty crazy. It's freaking beautiful. Yes, Siddhanth, the Moonrock stuff that I saw today was very, very interesting. Let's put it that way. So in terms of shorting for comp, let's just have a quick look. can you give me, Greg, why you're looking at a short for comp? Just because it came back to range high and we have a nice shooting star. I'd love for you guys to tell me your thoughts on why you say what you say, because it's important. But yes, I see what you're saying, Greg, for sure, 100%. So we had a shooting, not even really, it's a doji. It's an indecision candle. And, you know, I would wait for this daily to close below. And then we'd have a 3 inside down off resistance. And that would be a pretty strong trade to look for that 217. You know, this is a great trade setup, to be honest, dude. So we close below here. So let's say the daily closes in 11 hours and 25 minutes below this body of the candle here, then we're going to enter there, right? So because we already enter a short here, so we're going to enter down here because we didn't enter off of the tap off resistance, or double top, you could say, right? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put just give it a little bit more room, so if it does what it did on my trade the other day, it doesn't happen again. And then what am I going to aim for? We're just going to not be greedy. We're going to aim right for here. And thing is, this trade would not be a great trade to be in, unfortunately, because it's only a 1.6R. So here's the thing. You don't want to do this to make it a good trade. So on this situation, I would actually avoid the trade, unfortunately, because the risk to reward for this one might not be worth, the juice might not be worth the squeeze. Or I can go and then say, all right, I'm just going to say, like, if it comes down and tighten it up. But still, this is not a great trade, so I wouldn't take it personally. That's my personal opinion. You can do whatever you like. Okay, Luna. Luna's been having a rough go, but it's sideways like Bitcoin. They seem to be following each other very similarly, making lower highs, you know, so lower lows, lower highs. Needs to break out of that, obviously, and we have no volume. It's pretty much dead volume here. Some days it's almost like it doesn't have any. So, I mean, like that day, the other day, only had $3 million of volume from, you know, the top where it had 20, 30, $40 million volume. So you can clearly see that there's been a change, a shift in direction. But it looks like it's wanting to break out, retest. Maybe it's doing that right now. And we'll wait and we'll see how that plays. So Luna's okay. Long earned from 5-4, double-digit bottom with tight stop loss. Easy 30%. Maybe. Let's have a quick look at Eternity. So, one thing I want to talk about quick. A lot of people asked me recently, like, Coach, how do you know a good project? Here's how I know it's a good project. I look at Eternity. I look at collectibles. I see that the collectible industry is massive. Huge. Been around for many, many years, right? Okay. I look at Eternity, and I go, will people be using NFTs or collectibles in the future? Will people value farming for event tickets and other things? Will, you know, large companies want to work and use NFTs? And we all know the answer to that. So it's only a matter of time till we get there. So let's be real about that. Oh, the bot trading guys gotta go. See you later. All right, so turn your mic up. I don't know why you guys can't hear me. Usually everyone can hear me. So I'll have a quick look after the show and have a quick understanding as to why this is happening. But we will look. But look, the whole market, it's bearish right now. And you can have anyone tell you anything they want. But look at what this said. Just give you a quick second. Because had you done it right around these times, May 17th, 18th, when we got to those levels, probably would have been the best choice you ever made to scale out of the friggin' market. Because here's what we had. Threshold, right in here. We got into the threshold the start of May 1st specifically, okay? Sell alt, scale into BTC. This turned into scale into USDT, as we know, because this plan was from way up here and Bitcoin was still mooning. So we sold into USDC, USDT. Here's the crazy thing, because I wrote this before it even happened. We could have a quick deviation here where alts rip against Bitcoin and stables as the bull comes to an end. I will sell most of my alts in this zone to BTC, 0% chance I do not. So what I did is I sold most of my alts into USDT still. And when Bitcoin had that massive drop, which happened right around the I think it was like near the end of May, 12th or 13th of May, somewhere around here. When we had that, guess what happened? We dumped, Bitcoin bottomed out a bit, and I started buying Bitcoin. And that's the plan, and we stayed with it the whole entire time. Okay, so let's do a couple more calls here. Let's have a quick look at Theta. Let's have a quick look. So Theta did come back to our equilibrium level. So we talked about that. And will it come back to it again? Well, we know with a flat Kijin, it will like to pull it back up. But right now, Theta is quite bearish. It either has to hold this level or it's going to drop much lower. Okay, if we don't hold this level, it has a much lower trajectory to go to. Somewhere in this level we'll come back to. Somewhere around here. Potentially even here as another level. So, you know, we're looking at $2, $1.75. Theta could be a great short if it loses this level and it retests, meaning that we're waiting for this to close below, retest. And where will we put that short in? Well, this will be an easy short position. We would enter on the retest here. We would exit. I would make a nice loose stop because it's a pretty long target. So here, 3.35 hour with a nice loose stop. If it breaks up, we have lots of space if it wicks up, and we have a nice trade here. So what we'd be looking at for Theta is an opportunity to short. Why UST instead of USDC? There is no reason except for that liquidity. Ajong, the liquidity on USDC still is not anywhere comparable on the trading side to USDT. And so that's what matters the most. I already answered. Shield Finance seems like a great project and concept. It is, but look, there's a reason why I'm not scaling heavy into alts right now. There's a very good reason for that. And that is simple and it's easy to understand. It's that when we're in bearish movement, it is very hard for us to come back from it. And it doesn't matter how good of a project because people get the tokens and they just sell them and sell them and sell them. See, Shield, I'm worried because the volume is just nothing. No one even uses the token, at least. They're not buying or selling. So it's not good. I am a seed investor into this and I do believe in this project. But with a market where no one's really trading, you kind of can expect what that is, okay? And let's have a quick look at Liddy Capital because this is one of the only assets that you could have bought the last couple days and made profit on. So it's a good one. So we talked about it way down here when it first launched. You know, I'm very bullish on this project. I love what they're doing. It's an equity token. So I never really talked about what Liddy is. Liddy Capital is an equity token. So normally you guys could never ever be able to invest in private equity because to invest in private equity, you need to have $1 million or be a accredited investor. So basically you need to have $1 million. Most people don't have $1 million. Most people can't participate. So what Liddy Capital is a litigation fund. So basically you're investing in lawyers winning cases to get a cut of the profit. It's basically like investing in a VC fund, but lawyers always make money. And so you can make money from the lawyers making money, basically is how it works. So you're funding the fund, the lawyers use that money. And when they win cases, you also win the cases as the, as the people funding it. And you're basically an owner of Liddy Capital. So very different concept to a utility token. And this is probably why this token is not going to dump off crazy because people know that it's going to have value longer term because you're owning Liddy Capital. You're not owning a shit coin. It's very different. So just keep that in mind when you think about this project with others. Equity token versus utility token. Very different value proposition as well. Would you advise us keeping your stable coins on Binance? Here is where you should keep your stable coins. On Yield App. Because I use Yield App. I trust this team. I know how they operate their business. They're honest and transparent in how they do things. And honestly, I like the team. I like the people around it. I think they're very professional. They're very professional and they do great work. And so on top of all of that, what's the most important part for me? The fact that it makes me profit. So I can go down here. Every day, every few days, I take my profit, I reinvest it. I just keep reinvesting it. It's kind of compounding. Version 2, they're going to have auto compounding function. So that'll be even better. I won't have to do it. But basically, you can come on here. You can see how much profit you've made. So you made like 10 grand in the last 30 days. I mean, you could live off of that very nicely for a year, off 10 grand a month. So this is a really nice, easy way to do it. Okay. So we have that. Have a really nice, easy user interface. There's also Orbit, but Orbit's not up yet. But the fact of the matter is I'll just give you a quick glimpse into what they're doing. Orbit is another project which super bullish. Why? Because of their APYs. And yes, they are real. So their superchargers actually do this. ADA, DOT, BNB, Ethereum, USD, or Euro, Gold, BTC. All of these give you 20 to 43% per year. And yes, they're all legit. Legit. Okay? This is not fake. This is not bullshit. It's 20% overall. So you get 10% in YLD, 10% in USDT if you hold the amount of YLD you need for tier 5, which is only 20,000. And guys, right now 20,000 YLD is on discount. It's not even 5 figures. It's going to pay back immensely if you do this. So keep your eyes on that. But Orbit, one of these is going to open to the public, guys. Definitely get in. Okay. I'll leave a link to this on Twitter so you guys can find it, but definitely get in because Orbit is legit. Okay. So you know me, I don't talk about projects that I don't think are legit. I really have liked them from the start and they have really great stuff. Does Yield App connect to MetaMask? No, it does not. You send in the funds. Now, why? Because how do they make your money? Well, these guys are profiting for you. Yield App is doing yield farming for you, taking all the risks for you, trading for you, and making you profit. And they make themselves more profit than they're all be sharing, but that's how their business makes money. And that's also how they use it to buy back the YLD token off market to do auto rebalancing. And this is what Celsius and Nexo have done. And I mean, go look at their charts from where they started. And you may have an idea of where this could go, especially during a bear market. Because everyone's like, oh, bear market, I'm so scared. And I'm like, bro, 20% a year, up to 40% a year. Like, how could you go wrong? People in the traditional markets are happy with 5 to 7 right now because bond markets are giving them that. That's crap. Okay, this is way better. Yes, maybe there's a little bit of risk putting some on these other platforms. I get that. But here's the thing. If you put them on other platforms and you spread them on several, you will be good. You can make money on Anchor Protocol, Yield App, Nexo, Celsius. Like there's not just one option. You could put some on all of them. So if you're worried like, oh, one might go down and wreck you. Well, if one goes down and you have 10, you're probably okay. So that's the key piece that you should be looking at. Which exchange to buy FXF? Right now, there's only one, and that is Uniswap. Okay. Now, FXF will be doing some big stuff, and that will come soon. But we need you guys to be patient on that. Now, what else do we have in here? Blockbank had some pretty big announcements coming up. So let's have a quick look at Blockbank because I am an advisor there and I do think they have some stuff coming. So they are having a follow and retweet thing, but they have 983 legit retweets left and we've got our winners. All right. So, hey, there it is. Now, they did a partnership with Happy recently. They have staking recently. They also did a couple other partnerships, I think with Parsec. And so there's big things coming from them. They're working really hard on the tier structures for the actual platform. And so there's lots coming from them too. This is another one like Yield App, like Nexo, like LockFi. All of these are great ways to make money. If you don't know how to trade, and you're not sure what to do this. This is the way to do it. Thank you, Vinny. Make sure that you message us for that. So here's what I'm seeing in the market. I could go and look at every single coin here and tell you guys, hey, you know, this is going to be better, but we're more bearish. So we look at the majors. We look at ETH and go, okay, let's wait for ETH to give us a confirmation, and then we'll buy it on our retest down here. Or we'll buy it in our zone down here. Easy peasy, okay? Bitcoin, same thing. We're going to wait to see how this daily closes. If it closes below and retests below, we're going to short down, right, down to 30. And we'll have a stop a little bit above this wick right here. Let's put it a little bit higher just to be safe, just in case it comes back and whips us out, right? We don't want to have another situation like we had here where we're in the right trade from like pretty much the right price. I think our average is right around here. And I should be up, you know, right now about 6% on that trade, but I got stopped out because my stop was just a little too tight. Like this is where my stop was, right here. So that's how that little smidgen got me out. But we learned from those. I learned that I should not be so tight and I should use another level higher and then move the stop down. That's all. Might have to move to Asia. You probably should. Asia's pretty kick-ass. Geez, about to verify my Coinbase finally. This happens. Actually, coach in Thailand, is Kucoin or Huobi safe? Yes. Huobi is not safe. Kucoin for now is safe. Obviously, all the DEXs are safe. And, you know, it is what it is. Coach, who trades the market on the weekend if not retail bots? Yeah, it is retail. It's retail. It's only retail. I mean, big traders don't really trade on the weekend. But, yeah, of course, my bots, even though we're not watching 24/7, are always running. So, yeah, there's definitely bots that are there. But the big players, they cash out. You know, the guys that you are talking about right now are the ones who have $1 million or $2 or $10 million, and they're cashing out the 10 million. They're putting 10 million in the market for one day in intraday trading, cashing out at the end of the day, putting that back, and the next day coming back. And then the weekend they put it all in the cash and they leave it there. So those guys are different than what you're used to or what you're thinking about when it talks about crypto traders, for example. All right, XRP. Well, we talked about this being a potential short just the other day, and what do we have? A potential short that set up very nicely just yesterday or 2 days ago, a few days ago, sorry. And look, didn't get all the way back to our level, but it's just, I think we might get like higher low, higher low, higher low. Maybe we get one more and tap off this. And if I honestly would probably short around 75 cents. XRP gets there. And then aim towards, you know, the 56-cent range. I'm looking in the ranges right now. And if you guys notice that, even though price goes down or above a bit, I'm looking at range trading because that's what the market's doing. It's ranging. It's up and down and sideways. That's what we look for. You wouldn't trust Kucoin. I know why. I understand what you're feeling. Omni FXF, we already did. C3 and Jero. Okay. These are two projects I'm very bullish on. Okay. Jero has a sick wallet. Okay. And this team is legit, okay? They're not there just like saying they're going to make another wallet. They really, really want to make a good quality product. So the TA on it probably looks like crap. It's kind of bottomed out here around, I guess, a little deviation there. So it's kind of bottomed around 13 cents. So if we get to that 13-cent range, that might be an area where we want to buy potentially. Just quickly get a level here. So somewhere around this level, maybe even we could call it down to this level here. And let's have a quick look. Honestly, like if it loses right around where it's at right now, right around here, we're probably coming down to about, I would assume we're going to get to 14 cents. So it might be a short, quick trade. Right now, it's not bullish at all, so I wouldn't be trading it. We'll be watching to see if we can hold this level yet again on the higher time frames. And what we're looking for is this. We're looking for a breakout of this level. So we need to break out of there. We're not going to get that anytime soon. Charlie 3, another Oracle project, and ADA's Oracle project. Big times. That chatter looks like a rug. The chart looks like a rug. All charts look like a rug, just so you know. Okay? Here, let's do, you want to see one that looks like a rug? Here, let's look at this one. Let's look at Pokemon. Famous for the tweet post today. I actually messaged that guy. I was like, yo, man, you're damn on point with this stuff, bro. Told him right on point. I'm not sure why Dex Tools sucks half the time, but this is a rug, okay? This is what rugs look like. You want to see another one? This is what we call soft rugs, okay? When they slowly steal all of the money and liquidity out as the founders, right? So Impulse Vein, another one. Oh my God, it had a pump. I can't believe that. That's insane. Let's have I wish I could show you the whole chart. It's embarrassing. So maybe they relaunched the project or something. But that one was horrible. There's also like Key Tango. Like I'll be first to be honest. Like I had projects that didn't work out. Some of them happens. And this is another one of them. This one's like complete rug, complete rug. There's nothing else other than that. And this is typical of a certain market maker. If you know the certain market maker, you can comment. I'm not going to say who they are, but there's a certain market maker in the industry, and all their charts look like this. And if you start to figure out which charts they are, go look at who invested in those projects, which VC funds and start drawing some conclusions and tying dots to each other and stuff. I'm not going to be the one to do it, though. Give me Grimes on BSC. All right. Honestly, a lot of these are probably just shit coins. I won't ever look. XVS is down 90%. Well, didn't they get hacked? So it's kind of obvious that would happen. Like, you got to understand. Projects got hacked are not very likely to come back. Even Iron, I don't think it came back. Dropped 90%. Yeah. But remember, if you bought down here at $1, you're still laughing. So you have to remember, it's all about when you bought, not about the project. Let me end on this. Okay? I'll end on this because it's really important. The projects you guys invested into, you need to go back and you need to look at, and you need to ask yourself a few questions. Question number 1, do I believe in this project still? Question number 2, is this project going to add value to this ecosystem? Question number 3, do I trust this team? Do I think they can really achieve the goals that they do? Question number 4, is this a project that really I am convicted of that it will be able to do and everything they said they're going to do? And if you're answering none to all that, well, you know where it's coming. So, some quick updates for Ahmad. We are going to be talking to him. This will happen probably today or tomorrow. We already have chatted with him once on the phone. And so there is some communication. I will let you guys know more as things come. I just don't want to tell you blah, 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 right? But yes, thank you, Brian. Do smash that like. And if you're new here, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell, do that stuff. I'm not one of the crypto people that beg for likes and stuff. If you want to do it, do it. You know, I'm not going to be like, yo, won't tell you what coin I like if you don't smash the like. It's all good. ICP is a great project, but man, again, there's been some weird FUD about that. And here's the thing, when there's FUD, that's not good. We don't want that. But here's what we want. So we talked about this. So it came up to that 21 EMA. I just said we had a breakout retest. Look, this trade played out very nicely. It retested finally, came down, retest, boom, boom, go. So what I'd be looking at here is that we have 3 black crows forming on the daily. This is likely to come at least back down to, you know, at least here, maybe even lower. ICP's had a rough go, a really rough go. If you invested into it and you didn't short it, well, you're probably sad right now, but it's a great project long-term and it may come back. So you want to do one thing. I'll give you one piece of advice that I would do. This is something that I do, not like you have to figure it out and understand if it works, but I average down. So let's say there's projects I bought into and I believe in, and then I missed, I like forget about them, and then they dropped in the dump, right? What do? Well, let's say I bought it around, let's say just as an example, I bought ICP at 104. Now I could dwell and go, oh man, and jump, blah, blah, blah. Or I could go and buy it down at 35 bucks, double down and have a cost in between. So now when the price comes back up, which if you believe in the project and you really believe in the team and you really believe they're going to do what they say they're going to do, you know it will come back up. So you can average down, dollar cost in, and try to do it not too fast. Take your time, because if we're bearish, we're going to go lower. And that's all you have to do if you believe in a project, even if it goes down. But let's be honest here. Let's be really, really honest. We don't want to hold too much if it goes down. We want to slowly cut losses quickly if we're in a bear market, if we buy into stuff, and wait and be patient and short. Not what everyone wants to hear, but that's reality. So Equify, Nexo, Celsius, all these big guys are going to do well. Yield App will be probably partnered with Equify because they have connections in terms of the owners. So that's also great. Anyways, Bitcoin can be oversold or overbought for a very, very, very long time. Just so you know. Okay, so a lot of people I see say that, like, oh, something's overbought or oversold for a long time. But look, let me just show you something. We were oversold or overbought on the way up several times too. Right here. I talked about it. We're at 95. Remember I said we're at 95? It's crazy. We went way higher, and we had a divergence of the price kept going higher, and then this started to drop. So we had the divergence, and then we dropped, right? But the weekly RSI, I mean, look, here's the weekly. It's only at 42. This is not outside the zone that much. That doesn't mean it's going to instantly pump either. So I would not be overly bullish on something like that, because we've been up here before and we just dumped all the way down to 2019 on a weekly chart. So do not use RSI as like, this is my indicator I'm going to trade off of, because you will absolutely get demolished. You will get demolished. You will wish you were never born, because you're going to lose all your money. You don't trade off RSI. I see what happens in RSI on the actual Ichimoku cloud. I can see similar things. Look here. You can see similar things that happen on the Ichimoku. As the trend's going up, the trend goes up, right? You can see similarities. And then look, here's the Tenkan. Tenkan's the first one to come down a bit, right? So Tenkan goes down a little bit after. So it is a lagging indicator. We know that. But the fact of the matter is that we see what we're seeing here using levels without RSI. So I just caution people to not use indicators as their trading strategy. You should be trading off of the price action and the levels. Why do you think I've been talking so much about the levels? Because the Ichimoku's far away. I can't trade off of it on a high time frame right now. I can't put any trades in. There's no trade set up. So what should I do? I should be patient. Or I can go in the secondary chart and look to see if there's other trade setups. That's it. Or I wait till it goes to a level of resistance and rejects and short. And I go down to this level and take profit and take profit and take profit. So I know it sounds like really easy, but it's more yourself here. Like understanding the price goes up and down. As long as your risk is in there, you're not going to be freaking out. So try to keep the risk under control and you'll never freak out again. But look, I don't have much time, guys. There's only 1 minute left. So I'm going to leave you guys with this. It's that all these guys, all these fundamentals, all these things truly do not matter. They don't matter, because we can stay bullish and have bad news and it go higher, and we can be bearish and have amazing news and continue to drop, just like we did in 2017 or 2018 and 2019. Sorry. So keep your head level. Look at this chart and tell me, should you be bullish or should you be bearish? I want you to figure it out for yourself. Don't just listen to me. Look at that chart. Start to understand some of the things we're learning here and tell me what you really think. Because the more you guys get your head around what this actually means, the more you're going to just wait for real information and actually start being more profitable. So let this stuff come to you. Don't be in a rush. A marathon. It took me 3 years in crypto to make it. And that's because I didn't try to make it quick. So you guys can do the same thing, the same time frame. Just focus. Much love to all you. I'm a bear. I'm going to stay a bear until I'm up here. And until we up there, I don't care if people don't follow me or don't like that I'm bearish, because you guys won't be getting wrecked and you'll still be making money. That's my #1 goal. Peace out, everybody. Hope you have a great weekend. I'm Coach K, signing out.